Guys, we're back here on Dugout Talk, this time with Trey Cochran-Gill of the Tri-City ValleyCats. Appreciate you coming on.
Yes, sir. Anytime. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, now you went to Auburn University, played there. Talk about some of your takeaways from playing at that university.
Yeah, man. Playing at Auburn was awesome. Like getting to play on the SEC baseball level. Got to play for some good coaches. Learned a lot. Got to play with a lot of guys that are in the big leagues right now. Right. So, yeah, man, I learned a lot there. Got to experience a good bit, and yeah, man, I enjoyed my time there.
Right. They were drafted by the Mariners, then traded to the A's for Evan Scribner, who I also interviewed a few years ago. Talk about being traded and how tough that is of a transition.
Yeah, I was drafted by the Mariners. I was just starting to, get to know everybody within the organization, and so I played short season and then one full season with the Mariners before I was traded to the A's. So yeah, a lot of people said it was a good thing to get traded. But you go into a new organization, you got to meet a bunch of different guys, new personnel, stuff like that. But the A's, they made it a smooth transition, made a lot of friends there, and pretty much just played out the rest of my minor league contract with those guys. Right.
Now, how do those two organizations differ? Do they do things differently in terms of player development?
I feel like for the most part, both of those organizations were pretty similar. Like, I feel like they were both kind of laid back. They had good, good guys to learn from, like coaches. You even learn a lot from players as well.
Right.
So yeah, I feel like the development is pretty similar with both of the organizations.
You then played in the Arizona Fall League, great league to play in if you're a prospect. A lot of great guys in that league. Talk about the competition in there and playing in that league. You did really well.
Yeah, that was another fun opportunity right there with the Arizona Fall League. Like I think majority of our team is in the big leagues right now. There's only maybe a handful of us that haven't had a chance to play in the big leagues yet. But yeah, the competition is great. You get to see what you're really made of because you're playing with guys that will probably be in the big leagues pretty soon. And I think that's the case, with the teams that were in the fall league that year.
Right.
Like a lot of those guys, you turn on the TV, they're playing in the show right now.
Yeah. Talk about some of the tougher at-bats in that league, that guys you had to face. Who were some of those names that were pretty tough to face?
Yeah, we had Gleyber Torres. We played against him. Man, there's just so many guys.
Yeah.
Like, even on our team, we had, Ian Happ. Who else did we have? Bradley Zimmer. You look back, it was a lot of those guys are in the show, and it's so many now that, I can't even really, pinpoint it down just because, it was nothing just to face, to go out there that day and, every guy in the lineup, potential big leaguer. Right.
This year with the Tri-City ValleyCats independent ball, talk about the season you've been having, pretty solid out of the bullpen.
Yeah, I just wanted to get out here, man, and just, give it my best. And just try and, get things going, get on the right track. And, for me, I'm just trying to go out there, and if I got to get 3 outs, do what I got to do to get those 3 outs. We got a great defense. They make it easy for us guys to pitch on the mound. We don't have to strike out every single guy. We got guys that are going to make plays for us behind us. So they make it pretty easy to go out there and get the job done.
Right. Then you have a manager in Pinckney who is a player's coach. You've seen it throughout the year, sticking up for his guys. Yeah. Talk about having somebody like him in the dugout leading you guys.
Yeah, man, Pete's an awesome guy to play for. Like you said, he really has your back. He's a manager that you want to go out there and play your hardest for because he's going to give you his best when he's in here coaching, managing the game. Yeah, man, like you said, he has good connections. Like, you get out there and perform, you got a good shot at getting out of here.
Right.
And back into affiliated ball.
Was he one of the main reasons you came here to play?
Exactly, yeah, he was. Yeah, he told me, like, hey, I got, good relationships. Nobody gets guys out of independent ball back into affiliated ball more than I do. So I was like, sounds like a guy I want to play for.
Yeah, for sure. Now, right behind us, we have a ball. Take us through some of your pitch grips.
Yeah, so for me, mainly, I just throw 2-seams and sliders. Occasional changeup as well, but for 2-seam, I'm off the seams just a little bit.
Okay.
Not straight up. It's kind of just what became comfortable for me, like over time. Throwing a lot of 2-seams, in my 3/4 arm action, I feel like I get some good sink to it. For slider, I'm kind of just right here on the horseshoe. I just try and get my middle finger kind of right up against the seam,
right,
so I can get through the ball and get that good slider action to it. And when I do throw a changeup, I kind of throw a two-seam changeup as well. Just trying to have that same action as a two-seam, just ideally a little bit slower.
Right, and it makes sense for you throwing a two-seam changeup if you're throwing two-seamers a lot as well.
Exactly.
For younger guys, would you recommend the changeup as a solid pitch to throw and learn later on? Or?
Yeah, so in the off season I do a lot of pitching lessons, and that's one thing I try to get across to the guys. Like talking to a bunch of the hitters that I play with, major league hitters, guys that have played in the big leagues, they'll tell you like the changeup is one of the hardest pitches to hit. It's not necessarily a fastball that's 95 plus, because those guys, they'll catch up to those, and if it's not located like perfectly down at the bottom of the zone or right at the top of the zone, like they'll catch up with hard fastballs. But one thing they say that's tough to hit is that changeup, just because it has the same perception as the fastball. It's just obviously a little bit slower.
Right.
So I try and work with the kids that I work with. I try and get them to throw a changeup, learn a changeup pretty quickly, and even learn a changeup before they start throwing a breaking ball.
Right. And the last question for you: a lot of younger kids out there going through adversity, dealing with different situations. What advice would you give to the younger players out there?
Yeah, man. I mean, it's not going to be an easy road. Like if it's something you really want to do, stick to it, stick with it. Work on it day in and day out, just to kind of perfect your craft as best you can, and when you get out there, have fun and compete. That's really the only thing you can do, is just get out there and compete and have fun.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Anytime.
All right, next up we have Denis Phipps of the Tri-City ValleyCats, played in the big leagues from the Dominican Republic. Talk about growing up in the DR and maybe some things that people might not realize that it takes to get to the big leagues.
I mean, baseball is big in Dominican. It's like the first sport in Dominican. It's baseball and basketball. So we grew up see a lot of guys like Julio Franco, like Rico Carti, like Pedro Guerrero, like Pedro Martinez, like those guys. So we idolize those guys. Like Sammy Sosa is from my town, so it was one of the best thing we ever see back in the day. So it was that was a dream come true. Just to get signed in baseball and play at the affiliated ball.
Right. Now I know in the DR they have a lot of facilities and camps that guys go through when you're younger. Talk about what it's like right now. Have you seen what they do there and to prepare younger guys?
I mean, it's different now. It's different now. I mean, I do have academy too there, so it was different what we do back in the day, because back in the day we signed when we was 18, but now they changed so much because they want real young guy coming 19, 20 to the big league now. So now they prepare the kid 12, 13, 14 years old. That's when they want the signing right now. But before it was 18.
Wow. Now going back to your career, made to the big leagues with the Reds. Talk about that call up when you first found out that you were going to become a big leaguer.
I mean, it was good. I mean, before the year before, I got a call, but I was waiting at the hotel for 2 days. They would told me, okay, you're not gonna get called up. You know what I'm saying? So it was that.
Yeah, that must have been tough.
Yeah, it would be tough, but I had a great year that year too at AAA. So yeah, the next year I come out kind of slow, but I got hurt. Came back to AAA game, start half, get a lot of home run and stuff like that. So I was in the lineup. And Davey Bell is the manager for Cincinnati right now, but at that time it was Dusty Baker.
Right.
So Davey called me to the office, and that night I think the day before I got a home run and a triple.
Right.
And I was a lead off too, so he said, you didn't run the base, so I'm gonna take it from the lineup. And I said, what? And then he said, no, you're going to the big league. So he took me for the surprise that.
That's great. And you have guys like Joey Votto, Jay Bruce, who are at the big league level. Talk about playing with those guys and just being there.
I mean, you pick the brand. I mean, Joey Votto is a lifetime generation talent. So it was Joey Votto, Scott Rowland, he was there, Jason Laudry, it was a lot of guys been to, in the top in the World Series too, because Scott Rowland better with the Cardinal and the Philly, I think. So it was a nice experience to be around those guys.
Right. Who were some of the other guys who took you under their wing and really helped you when you first got that call?
Oh, I mean, I said Miguel Cairo, Johnny Cueto, Valdez. He was the guy for the Phillies shortstop. Yeah. Aroldis Chapman too. He was great with me every time. he told me a lot of stuff. So because I was like a bench player, so he told me like, be ready. You never know. You might gonna face a lefty, and I was keep myself ready.
Right, right. Must have been great to have those guys really helping you out as soon as you get that call and up there and getting ready for those situations. But I'm sure you faced some great pitchers throughout your time in AAA, the big leagues. Talk about some of the tougher guys who you faced.
I mean, at one point in AAA, it was Bauer, the guy from Cleveland, Carrasco, what's his name, Kluber, McAllister, Salazar. Those the fifth star, and
wow.
They had the fifth star in AAA at one point. It was like one of the tough like road trip they always we have. Like we got to face Bauer, Kluber, McAllister, like Carrasco, and Salazar at the same time. Like it was tough.
Unbelievable. Was it a rehab assignment for any of them, or just like they were coming up through AAA?
No, they just in AAA right there. Yeah, it was at that time like when the Indian like trying to rebuild them, and yeah. And the other side we got like Arrieta, like Zach Brickton, like Grossman, like Bundy, and
right.
For the Orioles. So it was tough that year.
Tough.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Now this year with the Tri-City ValleyCats, you're one of the veteran players on this team, one of the older guys. Talk about how you've been able to help the younger guys on the team and like guide them and teach them the right way.
I mean, we start like real slow because we got a lot of young guys. So, we try to help. But how when you're young and you haven't been like in that situation before, you get more frustrated. So I just tell them like, just keep your mind ready. If you're playing every day, you're gonna get through it. But sometimes it's not what you say. You know what I'm saying? People sometimes they don't want to listen. They just want to do it at the right moment. But I just tell them like, when you're playing every day, you got time. You got time. So don't worry. Like, just keep at the gym, go to the gym, do your workout, and get prepared for the game.
Right, and last question for you. What would you say to the guys in the Dominican Republic who are working hard, younger players, to get to where they want to be in the big leagues one day?
I was the guy that came from Dominican. I was a basketball player. When I signed because I got a good arm, not because I hit, not because I run, nothing. Just like they told me, oh, you might gonna be a pitcher. So don't let nobody tell you what you got to do. You do your job. Work hard. And I got a lot of like that about it. You know what I'm saying? So when I make it, I say, wow. So it was not what people say. I trust myself and my family and my support, my family, my wife, my daughters. Like they always like, keep me like in the right place. And it was like a dream come true when that happened.
Dennis, I appreciate it.
All right, man.
What's going on, guys? We're here now with member of the Tri-City ValleyCats, Brad Zunica. Appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, no problem. Appreciate you having me.
Yeah, now 15th round pick by the Padres, played for the organization for a few years. Talk about how the Padres, their developmental program with their players.
Yeah, no, so when I first signed, we were kind of the team that you wanted to play for in that sense, but then as we went along, like we kind of developed a sense of like culture in that organization and just kind of like work first over talent in that sense. So like hard work's gonna get you where you want to be, and that's kind of been instilled in me since I've been in pro ball.
Right. Now when it comes to making adjustments, after coming to Tri-City, really hit the ball hard. Player of the week last week, really hitting a lot of bombs. Talk about the adjustments that you made coming here to Tri-City.
Coming to Tri-City, it's just been it's almost made me like fall back in love with baseball again, instead of when affiliated baseball kind of feels like a job after a while. And coming here has just brought like the fun back to the game that I've played since I was 4 or 5 years old.
Right. You see that with a lot of guys. They're always talking about how fun indie ball is, and you're really able to, enjoy it more than, affiliates. But you're also playing for a guy like Pinckney who, wants to win, and he's doing everything he can for his team. Talk about playing for a guy like him. Yeah, no, Pete's the man. When it comes to a manager having your back, I don't think I've played for anyone that instills that in his players more than he does. Now you're a big guy, 6'6". Do you feel that every player should have an individualistic approach, when it comes to how teams look at their players and the approach that coaches have in their players? Because you have guys who are bigger and smaller, like Altuve or somebody else. So what are your thoughts on that?
For sure, there's definitely. I mean, you should have individualistic goals. I think that's the way baseball's kind of trending right now. Is one size fits all, and it's not. Like, I don't think that's the way it's been for years, and I don't think that's the way that it should be, because you have your power guys, you have your speed guys. Like, that's just how a lineup works.
Right, right. Do you think in the future baseball will kind of evolve back to that, like it used to be, in terms of players, kind of enforcing what they're best at and not just, one size fits all?
Yeah, no, it's definitely baseball's cyclical, just like anything else in life. So I think it's just gonna kind of run its course, and then it'll get back to the game that everybody knows and loves.
All right. Last question for you. A lot of younger players out there who are looking for some advice from the older guys. What would you say to the younger players out there?
Just have fun with it and be yourself. Like, you know yourself better than any coach out there. Like, you're your own coach, you're your best coach, so just keep that going.
Appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you.